Just when I thought I seen it all, shit keeps happening. Just when I thought there's no way the NFL can get away with it again. Just when I thought I'd seen the most corrupt game I've ever seen when the Chiefs defeated the Texans, the NFL totally outdid itself. It totally, on full display to the country, completely robbed blind the Buffalo Bills. And you know something? We keep letting them off the hook. And I'm guilty of it too. People are calling for a boycott, yet the AFC Championship had 57 million viewers. People want to boycott the Super Bowl, but we all know it's going to have over 100 million viewers in the U.S. and over 200 million viewers worldwide, whether Taylor Swift is there or not. Disgusting and shameful. The NFL being as biased as it's been in favor of one Kansas City Chiefs. Many of their defenders would say this is jealousy. But I'm going to give you some objective facts that cannot be denied. The Chiefs have been a team that have lived on the edge, doing just enough to win games. 17 straight wins in one-score games. 9 straight playoff wins, mostly in one-score games. Give me a break. That's not normal. And when you deep dive on a lot of these games all year long, whether it's a 4th and 19 pass interference, whether it's a no call for Atlanta, whatever the case may be, the Raiders trying to snap the ball and they get an illegal shift penalty instead of a false start, which leads to the Chiefs winning. Time after time after time, NFL fans have to sit there and take this bullshit and say nothing. Well, guess what? We're fucking sick of it. Okay? We're sick and tired of this bullshit. And it's reached a fever pitch in the AFC Championship game. Tell me when I'm telling lies. I saw with my own 2 eyes a pass hit the ground and they called Xavier Worthy catching it. I saw with my 2 eyes Josh Allen get a first down and they said it wasn't a first down. It's cheating in plain sight. It's a scandal bigger than Deflategate or Spygate could ever be. The league itself helping the Chiefs in every game, in every way imaginable, when they have to, in order for them to keep winning. The only way the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl is Saquon Barkley has to go off. They have to win by multiple scores. There can be no room for doubt at all. The Eagles possibly can do it, but we all know they won't. They will call holding as many times as they need to call holding. They will do whatever they have to do. Well, now they got the Chiefs in the big game. They may not need them to win it, but they got them there for the Swifties. But this goes deeper than the Swifties, okay? There's more to it than this. They were already getting to Super Bowls before Taylor Swift. Okay? And this is not to diminish the greatness of Patrick Mahomes or Andy Reid or Travis Kelce. But they're getting exaggerated on their greatness from this blatant bullshit that we see in front of our face. I don't know how many times you have to see it. I don't know how many times you have to be blind to it or bury your head in the sand to see the obvious of what's happening. The NFL is designated as an entertainment league, which means if they want to fix games, they can fix games. It's different than a lot of other sports that are actually labeled as a sports league. And this is a very disturbing fact because, as a former Patriots fan, it makes me call into question some of anything we've seen the last decade. Even the stuff I liked, like Tom Brady winning his 7th Super Bowl in Tampa. How much is real? How much is fake? Who's in on the rigging? Is it just the refs? Are the players choreographed? It's hard to say. But to sit there and act like this is normal, to sit there and act like this is just an everyday occurrence, I cannot do. I cannot do. You cannot put the genie back in the bottle. A lot of people thought wrestling was real for the longest time. Like WWF, WWE, WCW. Even adults. It's a thing called kayfabe. And at some point, we've all come to realize as a society, oh, okay, wrestling's fake. Even the kids know it, right? Wrestling, WWE, WWF, it's scripted. Doesn't mean the hits aren't real. But there's storylines. There's predetermined outcomes. And we, as a society, are starting to get to the belief. It's starting to become mainstream. Clearly, you could tell it on Twitter and Reddit and all these places that are starting to figure out the real conspiracy. That the NFL is rigged. The NFL is scripted. The NFL is predetermined. And once you've stumbled across that fact, that to some degree it must be, you are left with one of two choices. And that is, you can walk away and say, this isn't real. This is not what football is to me. I'm out. But if you choose to stay at this point, which I am, even though I'm pissed off, then you have to come to the conclusion that you're going to get what they want to give you. If you don't like it, you can turn the TV off. And they're going to shove the Kansas City Chiefs down our fucking throats. And the Taylor Swift thing is just a bonus. Because the real reason they want to shove the Chiefs down our throats is they want to make Patrick Mahomes the GOAT. They want him to surpass Brady. You best believe they will find a way to get that man 8 Super Bowls. Okay? That's the plan. Like, he started in a hole, right? When Brady won his 7th, Mahomes only had 1. They're going to get this man 8 Super Bowls in his career so they could call him the GOAT. There may be some racial motivations behind that. We all know Tom Brady is white and Patrick Mahomes is mixed. which there's nothing wrong with. But the real problem with that is if everybody knows that there's some level of scripting, there's some level of predetermined outcome, there's some fuckery done by the referees, it's hard to take anything that happens legitimately. So you're left bitching about how to book the Super Bowl. How would you book the Super Bowl? Like, how would you book WrestleMania? How would you book a fantasy season? You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're left with, is fantasy booking, much like fantasy football. And so we're left in a precarious position here. The Chiefs are the heel, okay? In wrestling terms, that's the bad guy. They were the good guy. They won a lot, but then people turned on them. So now they are the heel going into the Super Bowl. The Eagles are coming in as the face. I keep going back to wrestling as an example of what the NFL could be doing. But there's really no justification for how this could happen. It's kind of like, a referee in WWE got poked in the eye and he's blinded for 2 minutes while some illegal thing is happening, like someone hitting you with the brass knucks. That's kind of what's going on. Okay? It's fucking wild that we live in this timeline. But what can be done about this? The NFL has an option here. If they want to go legit. If they want to cut the bullshit out. They have to insert replay assist into a lot more things. The UFL does it, and they never fucked up and made a mistake. And the NFL makes thousands of times more money than the UFL. How come they can't get it right? Because, my friends, they don't want to get it right. You have Gene Steratore and Jim Nance and Tony Romo and Troy Aikman and Joe Buck all complaining about these calls the Chiefs are getting in their favor. Whether it's the spot of a ball, whether it's a flag, whether it's a supposed catch, we all see with our eyes. That it wasn't right. But there isn't a damn thing we could do about it. But the NFL had the power to do so with replay assist, yet they choose not to. They choose not to. It doesn't matter. They could shove a bunch of commercials while the replay assist is going on if they have to. Why aren't they? Because they don't want to get it right. It's actually more believable that they don't want to get it right than it is they're just so incompetent to figure out how to get it right. It's actually more unbelievable that they would rather you think they're just stupid than to be outright fucking favoring a team. Occam's razor, the simplest answer is usually the truth. Follow the fucking money. The NFL's convinced, and I disagree with them, I'm sorry, that if you put the same teams over and over again into the Super Bowl, people build up these storylines and they build up this interest. You know what? You know what I think the fans actually would want to see if you're going to book and fake everything? Why not give us some teams that haven't been there? Everybody loved Detroit. You couldn't script them in? No, they can't because they have to have some level of unpredictability in the game to try to refute the people that are saying it's rigged. It reminds me of when people called out Area 51 for years. And for years, the government denied it. Until one day they didn't. A video that I'm making now, a couple years ago, would have been totally fucking laughable. Today, this morning, from what I've seen, more people are convinced it's rigged than the people who believe it's real. And they'll still fucking watch. And even the ones that say they'll boycott, they'll still fucking watch. Just like when you all sat there and said, I'm not watching football anymore because Colin Kaepernick took a knee. Bullshit. You watched. You still watched. So am I part of the problem because I'm still watching? Yeah. Is football my favorite sport? Yeah. Do I think the college game is rigged? Probably not. Are other sports I'm a little more excited about now than I was the day before? Yeah. If I think they're fucking real, if I think it involves real fucking competition and not pansy ass personal foul penalties, and when you look at it, you know, I'll say this. No quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes has any kind of mental edge. It's easy to play free and loose when you know the Zebras have your back, brother. Of course, I could just be talking out my ass. I could just be rage baiting right now, letting you watch this clickbait video. The NFL could be completely legit. But is it? Deep down? Are you sure? I'll put it this way. I'm not so sure anymore. RJ Game News USA, signing out. Have a good one.